Ice locked here with Nocturne Gaming, back with more Legends of Idleon, and we're taking a look at the World 1 boss, Nightmare Amarok, and his new special drop, the Radiant Wings. Before we get started, let's go over a few things. First, he does have some accuracy requirements, and this is 4,000 accuracy for a 5% hit chance, and 12,000 accuracy for a 100% hit chance. The boss does have 100 million HP, so make sure you have enough damage to complete this in a reasonable amount of time. Lastly, make sure you either have enough defense or that you bring enough food along with you, as his damage is about 4 times higher than what it is on the chaotic difficulty. To start the boss fight, you need to simply walk up to the door and click on it, and make sure you're using the arrows here to select the nightmare difficulty. He does require 30 of the keys to enter the room every time you attempt this, whether you kill it or not. So let's get started. Alright, so let's start going over his abilities before we get to killing him. First is the fireballs. He does 2 types of fireballs where he can spray out a bunch of them and does quite a bit of damage, but he can also just summon a few of them and randomly target on the ground where your character is at. So as you can see, these minor fireballs now. The next ability is his sword swing, where he is doing a slash down, and this hits everything on this platform. You can avoid this by simply jumping in the pit here. Next one that we're going to look at is if you're up on the upper platform, he does have a chance to do an uppercut ability, and the uppercut ability is his highest damage attack. However, if you stand far enough back using a ranged character, you can avoid the majority of his damage this way. Next is his rocket punch that he's doing right now, and he targets you and kind of locks on, but once the arm swells a little bit, then the target is locked, so you can dodge it from there. The next one is his stomp here, and the stomp creates a line of spikes that come up and does damage to you, as well as summoning all of the spikes traps on the ground at the same time. So the last 2 abilities that he has that are important are on these platforms up top. He can summon 2 totems. First is a shield totem, and this creates a shield where you can't do anything more than 10 damage per swing. And the last one is the healing totem that he summons up top here. And the healing totems only start to spawn after he's at 50% HP. It heals for quite a bit, so if you don't have enough damage, you will need to run up the platforms and kill those totems to be able to continue to fight the boss. But let's get started with killing him now, and we get to see his loot pretty soon. All right, and here is his loot drops. And so the primary things that he drops is the slabs here, the chaotic slabs, coins. He does drop this topaz still, which is fairly useless if you're on nightmare bosses. But his primary drops that he has are 2 main things. First is the Radiant Amarok card, and this card gives you a bonus to weapon power. If you have it to the 4-star level, it gives you 15 additional weapon power. The next drop is his major drop, which is the Radiant Amarok Backstabber, which is the new set of wings from the World 1 Nightmare boss, and this gives you a base of 50 defense, plus a miscellaneous bonus of 10% additional defense. So it's one of the best ways to get wings for your character, and it's the only way that you can get wings as a free-to-play player. The drop rate on the Radiant Amarok Backstabber wings is about 1 in 1,000, so you're probably going to have to kill this boss several times to be able to get these fancy new wings. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you're enjoying this type of content, and a huge shout out to our Patreon members that support the work we do. Thank you from all of us here at Nocturne Gaming. If you would like to become a patron and get some added benefits, check out the link in the description. If you have any thoughts, comments, or questions, please leave them down below for me, and we'll see you next time.